All right, let's have a look at titrations. Now, titrations are usually done with neutralization reactions. So that's what we're going to be looking at today. So what's it used for? It's usually used to determine the concentration of a solution. You've all seen the setup. It involves a conical flask. And what we do is put our base in there, or our alkali, effectively the same thing. And that is measured using a pipette. And no, we're not talking about your squeezy pipettes. You're talking about a glass pipette. You can never remember how many P's are in that. Then we have a thing called a burette. And that's clamped, and it has a little tap as well. And we have our acid in that. And this can measure how much volume is actually used. And usually we do have 0 at the top, which is helpful. So the volume gets bigger as you go down, so you can see how much volume is actually going into the reaction. Now, sometimes people ask, why do we always put the acid in the burette? Why can't we put the base in the burette? Well, that is because if you put something like sodium hydroxide, which is an alkali base, into your burette, generally it'll leave a salt behind in the nozzle. And so you can end up with horrible little crusty bits forming inside the burette. You don't get that with an acid. So that's just the practical reason why we do it that way around. So let's say that I've measured out 25 centimeters cubed, or 25 milliliters, but in chemistry they like centimeters cubed. And this is sodium hydroxide. This is what we're using today. I can tell you that the concentration of the sodium hydroxide is 0.102 moles per decimeter cubed. Let's say the acid that we're using today is citric acid, and the chemical formula for that is C6H8O7. But it could be any acid: hydrochloric, sulfuric, nitric, but we're getting off piste today. And then we need an indicator as well, just a few drops of indicator. It could be something like methyl orange. Methyl orange is orange in a pH greater than 7, so in an alkaline solution, but as soon as the pH goes below 7, it's now acidic, it turns pink. There are different indicators that can be used as well, but you'll always be told what color they will go in an alkali or acidic solution. So what we want to do is add acid until we get a neutral solution. Yeah, we know that the methyl orange is going to go pinky color when we go below pH 7, and so we're looking for that exact point when that happens. And what you might do is actually add the acid very quickly first of all. You'll do a test titer or a test titration just to see the sort of ballpark at what volume neutralization occurs. But let's say we've done that. We add acid slowly while swirling conical flask. When solution, or rather I should say indicator, turns pink, stop and swirl until it turns back to orange. And that's what you want to happen. So basically you want to get to a point where it starts turning pink, but actually that's just because not all of the chemicals have mixed in there, and so it'll hopefully turn back to orange. So what do we then do? We add a drop of acid then. Just one drop, that's all it takes. Swirl. If pink color persists, if it stays pink, neutralization has been achieved. The reaction has completed. If it turns back to orange, then you want to add another drop, and you might have to add a few drops before the color stays pink. You want to then record that volume. You want to do this multiple times, 3, 4, 5 times, just to make sure that your results are accurate. Okay, so let's say I did this and I found that I needed 12.15 centimeters cubed of acid to neutralize the 25 centimeters cubed of sodium hydroxide. To neutralization, what am I talking about? To neutralize. Well done me. So the question you'll usually be asked then is, what is the concentration of the acid? Let's find out. Okay, so here's a reaction for citric acid and sodium hydroxide. Okay, so here's that data again. Sodium hydroxide, we had 25 centimeters cubed, and we had 0.102 moles per decimeter cubed concentration. And the acid, I'm just going to call it acid, can't be bothered to write the whole thing out, 12.15 centimeters cubed. So we're looking for the concentration. So you might know that this is all going to be about moles. You need to know the stoichiometry, that's a posh word for it. In other words, how many moles of acid are needed compared to sodium hydroxide. How many moles of sodium hydroxide do we have first of all? Well, we're given concentration in moles per decimeter cubed, And so that means that we need to turn our 25 centimeters cubed into decimeters cubed. There are 1000 centimeters cubed in a decimeter cubed. So do we want to times by 1000 or divide by 1000? We want a smaller number of decimeters cubed, so we're going to divide by 1000. Gives us 0.025 decimeters cubed. But we want to know how many moles we have, so therefore we have decimeters cubed, we have moles per decimeters cubed. All we have to do is times these together. So 0.102 times 0.025, that gives us 2.55 times 10 to the minus 3 moles. I'll tell you what, let's just write that out as 0.00255 moles. Great, so we have the number of moles of sodium hydroxide that went into our reaction. Now we need to see how many moles that is for our acid. The ratio is 3 to 1, the invisible 1 there. So therefore, if we want the number of moles of acid, we need to divide that by 3. And that gives us 8.5 times 10 to the minus 4 moles. Once again, we've got centimeters cubed, so that is going to be 0.01215 decimeter cubed. And so therefore, we have our moles, we have how many decimeters cubed. Concentration is in moles per decimeter cubed. So all we have to do is take one number, divide it by the other. So therefore, if you haven't seen those 3 dots, that just means therefore, concentration is going to be equal to our number of moles divided by number of decimeter cubed. That gives us 0.07. And if we're being super accurate, I should probably put another 0 on the end there. I could even put another 0 on there, but we'll leave it as that for now. So it's pretty much the same. As every question that you'll get. So you use the volume and the concentration to get to the moles. Once you got that, you turn that into the moles for the acid, and then you can use the volume of acid needed to finally get to the concentration. That's usually the pattern that every question takes. So I hope you found it helpful. If you did, please leave a like, and if you have any questions, then put them in a comment down below, and I'll see you next time.